I, Paul the Venetian, address you in this, the power of love that allows you to always know that the presence of God goes before you when that love is streaming forth and taking dominion over all of the affairs of your life, moving out into the world to address the greater concerns of the many and allowing for the fullness of the Christ consciousness to be realized, recognized, and ensconced in its rightful dominion. Many of you have had the blush of your Christ consciousness upon you. You have felt the stirring within your own heart as that love of the Christ would displace all that was presently going on in your life. And you wondered, why must you wait for those occasions? Why cannot that Christ light be ever present, ever dawning in your life? Blessed ones, have you forgotten that the love of God demands that what is within the presence of the mighty I Am come forth, streaming out into all of the vehicles of consciousness that the sons and daughters of God wear, not merely just a select few, but many, many sons and daughters of God, upholding the light of the Christ, preparing the way for the new Christ that would embody, and establishing a place where love reigns in the fullness of all that is desired and all that is required for each one to overcome. Many have the misconception that love is weak, submissive, passive. But you should know, as sons and daughters of God who have studied well the teachings to illumine the mighty I Am presence into your life, that when the love of your God presence enters into the equation of your life changes. There is new opportunity extended to you, and you have the courage to embrace it, allowing for even those areas which you may not have outer training to accomplish, to come to the fore. Or even better, you have the wherewithal of wisdom and enough illumination in your life to search out how to complete this task that your presence has desired. Without the love of God stirring the desire for all that is present within the I Am, the full creative potential of all that you are to accomplish cannot come forth. And you go lifetime after lifetime meandering through a labyrinth of unreality, only on occasion garnering certain talents that might benefit your presence, but not to the fullest extent that you could have had you applied the fullness of the light that could be called forth into your life. How glorious it is to see a Christed life stream standing in the full presence of the mind of God, executing and drawing forth all that is required to create something of beauty, something of joy, something of great purpose for the greater good of all. And having that gift given with love and blessing, no shadow of resentment, or thinking that one has labored beyond what they should have. No, blessed hearts. Every erg of energy expended is the energy of the love of the God presence streaming forth from the vehicles of consciousness of that one, fashioning, forming, fitting that which is being created for the purposes of God. As the fingers of light of your own God presence stream forth in all of their glory, they are in constant search to place that light of the mighty I Am presence where it can perform the perfect task. The mighty I Am presence has many concerns placed upon its heart. How to bring about a greater love for God. How to shed light upon dark areas of consciousness that must be illumined. How to heal. How to create. How to love. All of these things, your presence is in the constant state of issuing forth. How much of what your presence proffers to you are you drawing into your life? Have you nurtured your own communion with the heart of God sufficient to draw forth every desire that the presence has for you? Have you embraced those desires that you know burn upon the altar of your heart for you to accomplish? Have you loved with unending fervor the presence of God in your life? That is the key, blessed ones. If you are to fulfill the commandment of love that your presence desires, these outer vehicles that you wear must know themselves to be the love of God. They must have the strength of that love, the will of that love, the desire of that love There must be the purity of that love, the creativity of that love, so that you might fashion and form the thoughts within the mind, the words within the mouth, the emanations of the heart, and be the hands and feet of the Most High, walking in grace, exhibiting the vibration that allows for the fullness of the Christ consciousness to be present where you are. For when you have the disciplines of the Christ virtues, your own Christ presence is always there, always present, thinking with the mind, emanating through the emotional body, prompting you to act upon certain benevolent and helpful conditions. Struggling is no longer a word in your vocabulary, for you understand that the only struggle that may ever appear is to put yourself in the right vibration, casting out from each of your vehicles of consciousness the impurities, the anxiousness, the angers, all manner of perversions that may darken your consciousness, and turn your gaze into the heart of God. Do you not suppose that the adepts, the saints of old, those who have gone on in the ascension, have gone through everything that you are going through even presently? They had their moments of questioning and learned that as long as they questioned and had doubt in their mighty I Am presence or the hand of God moving within them, they were no longer fit for the battle, for the victory that was sure to come if they had held fast. The power of love can quiet the greatest of armies. It can likewise heal the smallest child. It is vast in its ability to knit together for a common purpose of the greater good life streams that otherwise would have nothing that they shared, at least in the outer sense. But you understand that within the heart of the mighty I Am presence, all share in the glory of God, that one God that has blessed all of the sons and daughters incarnate, those in between incarnations, those who have ascended, those who are yet to incarnate. Not one is separated out of the blessing of God's love. As the Chohan of the third ray, You are commanded by this love that I serve, streaming forth from the heart of God in its most intense action, to try. Try until you can try no more, for you have won the victory. Try should be your middle name, for it matters not what is presented to you. You should have enough love for God that you never give up. You are never dissuaded. For that burning passion for God is greater than all things of the earth, all things that you think that you are or will ever hope to be. It is that great love of the heart of God that keeps every son and daughter of God knitted together as one great family in the canopy of the allness of God that lasts throughout eternity. When you are within the hallowed space of your Christhood, and you have exercised the disciplines of the Christ as virtue, as the qualities of the presence of God streaming through and into your vehicles to recharge, renew, and resurrect your vibration, your consciousness, and your momentums. As this occurs, blessed ones, you are ready for all that your presence demands of you. And as this love that I bring forth is released into the earth, it is for holy purpose to command the heart flame of each son and daughter of God to rise up, expand, and knit together one heart with another, so that together there is a greater whole of the fabric of God taking dominion in the earth. Is this not what every adept has taught? To love one another, to establish the flame of love where you are. It matters not from the point of your own God presence or the ascended masters, which particular ray you have thought you are serving on. Love is not exempt from your initiations. When this love becomes so tangible that you can taste it, touch it, move within it, have it elevating your steps and enlivening your life with joy, you will then, blessed hearts, know how love can move mountains of adversity how love can quiet a storm, can instill peace, can bring about all of the creativity that your presence desires. And then, once you have learned to master being in the presence of love, of the mighty I Am, you can begin to learn how to use all of the God qualities availed to you by your own God presence in the order determined by the presence, to establish mastery and attainment in each of those qualities. But first, there must be God love. Oh, how we, the Chohans, desire to teach all of the peoples of the earth this overwhelming and oh so great love of God that would deal with all of the unreality that at present seems to be predominant in most lives. It is an exceptional few in comparison to the many that understand how to be in the love of God, all the while they are dealing with great and oft-times grave circumstances of the earth. And so they get caught in all manner of maya and illusion out of the astral plane that would drive them and even their countries down for lack of attunement with the presence of God. Pray for those. Call for the light of the presence most high to dawn as the love of God upon the altar of their heart, to burn so brightly that they will not be ignorant of the presence, desire for not only their life stream, but the greater good of all. Take dominion, mighty I Am presence, over all of the maya and illusion that has separated out the sons and daughters of God from the heart of God love. Return them to that presence. Heal them of the scars of disappointment, of hurt, of separation from God. Allow for the fullness, O mighty I Am presence, of your mercy to move through the land and heal all of the blessed ones that are closest to your heart, that will know that the presence of God in the earth is sure and cannot be denied. Then quiet, O beloved presence of God, the winds, the waters, the earth, so that there can be a renewed peace to the elemental forces of nature, Awaken in the sons and daughters of God what it is that they must do to carry their own burden, to transmute all that is their own karma, and lift it off of the elementals who have carried it far too long. Let the love of God go forth by the hand of Chamuel and Charity in a sweeping action upon the earth, so that the blessing of God may come into the fullness of all that is required, even in this hour. As the Chohan of the third ray, I offer up my momentum in God love to assist this action, so that it will have the full weight of all that I am. You blessed hearts, as the faithful who are the disciples of the Christ light, take up this cause within your heart, within your calls, within your sanctuaries, so that the love of God may once more return to the land, and thus the blessing for all. I am Paul the Venetian, the Chohan of the third ray of God love, and the servant of the one God in the fullness of all that is, that love, that peace, that harmony, and that power of love.